Last Friday, the Globe and Mail put out a report saying that you need to make $78,000 per year to be able to afford a one-bedroom apartment in Halifax. And in this video, we're gonna find out whether that is true or not. We're gonna take a look at the numbers, determine where they came from, how they were calculated, and whether or not that is a realistic expectation for people to be able to earn in order to be able to afford in Halifax. A lot of you have seen the article. For those of you who haven't, the Globe and Mail put out an article that said that you need to make $78,000 per year in order to be able to afford a one-bedroom apartment for rent in Halifax. It mentioned that the average cost of a one-bedroom apartment in Halifax is $1,604 per month, and using CMHC's rule of your property not costing you any more than 30% of your annual income, including utilities, they determined that $78,000 was the amount of money that you need to make per year in order to be able to afford that payment. Okay, so first of all, the assumption that your housing costs should not exceed any more than 30% of your annual income. That is debatable in and of itself because everybody's lifestyle is different, right? Like if I live in downtown Halifax and I happen to work there, the likelihood of me not having to pay much in terms of monthly for transportation, a car payment, insurance, things like that are very high. And if that were the case for me, I could probably afford to spend a little bit more than 30%. But I do like the rule of 30% as kind of just a general, that's what you should be aiming for. So in our examples that we'll use in this video, let's stick with that 30% rule. Now let's look at the $1,604 average rent that Globe and Mail says is the average cost of a one-bedroom in Halifax. My first reaction when I seen this report was, wow, $78,000, like that's a lot of money. I'm not a rental agent, I'm a real estate agent, I sell houses, I don't rent them, but I do deal with rentals quite a bit and I do own a few properties myself and I'm aware of what those are rented for. But something just didn't really seem right to me. $1,604 just seemed like a really large number to me. So I said to myself, let's figure out where they got this number from. So I went through the CMHC report that was published on the same day and I scoured it from top to bottom trying to find the number 1604 and I couldn't find it. I found lots of evidence in that report to suggest that it's not 1604, but I couldn't actually find anywhere in the report where it said that the average cost of a rental was $1,604. So then I thought to myself, well, is it actually 1604? Where did they get this number from? So I decided to take a deeper look at it and determine whether or not this statement of you needing to make $78,000 in order to afford 1604 per month is legit or not. My first thought was, well, maybe they just don't really understand the geography of Halifax and maybe they're using a number that is only for the downtown core or maybe only for the peninsula or something like that, where they're looking at only the more expensive areas of Halifax. Because I could understand how somebody who's not from here might confuse the city with the municipality. But the more I looked into it, the more I realized that wasn't the case. And that's not how they came up with their number. They came up with their number by looking at the average rental listing price for apartments for rent on rentals.com. I'm sorry, but I can't help but laugh at that. First of all, what is rentals.com? Never heard of it. I deal with rentals all the time. I'm a landlord myself. I've asked many agents at my office whether they've heard of it or not, and nobody has a clue what rentals.com is or has used it in the past. Second of all, why are we using rental listings as a way to determine how much things are rented for? I could go on that website right now and flood it with one-bedroom apartments for rent for $3,000 a month, and that would grossly impact that number. But it doesn't mean that that apartment has rented for $3,000 a month, nor does it mean that that apartment is even available for rent. I might just be posting an ad for a property that doesn't even really exist. So I thought to myself, we gotta get to the bottom of this. We gotta figure out what the actual cost is to rent here in Halifax and use that number to determine whether Halifax is affordable or not. So let's look at the rental market report that was submitted by CMHC on February 18th. Ironically, the exact same day that this Globe and Mail article was posted. As you can see here, the average cost of a one-bedroom in Halifax, they have measured as $1,084. Now granted, the market was surveyed back in October, so there probably has been a little bit of a change in this number. It probably is north of $1,084 now, but it's not 48% higher. They had it as 1604 and it's 1084. They weren't even close. Also, based off their calculation for affordability for a 2-bedroom home, they said you needed to make $91,000 a year. that would mean that they were implying that the average cost of a 2-bedroom in Halifax was $1,901 per month, when in fact it's $1,335 per month. So if we use the same CMHC equation that the Globe and Mail used to determine affordability with the more accurate numbers, it turns out that you only need to make $58,900 per year to be able to afford a 1-bedroom in each area. Still not a small amount of money, but definitely a lot more attainable than $78,000 per year. I think the reason why this post took off on social media and got so many likes and shares is because it represents what we're kind of all feeling with the cost of everything going up. Gas is going up, food is going up, cost of automobiles, insurance, etc. Everything is increasing, and we're feeling that pressure in our day-to-day. But I don't think it helps any of us to be looking at inflated numbers. I think we really need to sit down and break things down and look at them for what they are, and then make assessments on whether we believe the city is affordable based on that. We're not doing anybody any justice by inflating the number and saying that you need to make $78,000 a year when you can afford it for less than $60,000. I'm not saying Halifax is the most affordable place to live, but being able to afford here with a salary of $58,900 a year is definitely a lot more doable than trying to make a salary of $78,000 a year. But with that being said, I would love to know what your guys' input is on this. What do you think? Is $58,900 a year still too much? Is housing still unaffordable? What do you think about the article? Do you think it was purposely misleading, or do you think that they were just trying to prove a point that still exists even with these more realistic numbers? And as always, make sure you're subscribed and make sure to check off that notification bell so that you receive notifications anytime I post new videos. If you have any questions about what you've heard in this video, or if you just want to chat about real estate with me, make sure to click the link in the description below and book a time with me to chat about real estate.